In this video, I want to fix two kind of annoying, not really annoying, but bugs that shouldn't really exist. So one being, if we shoot and then knife, well, not shoot that knife, reload and then press knife while we're part way through the animation, it will stop the, not really stop the reload, it'll still be playing in the background, but the animation will quit and we'll be switching to the knife animation and vice versa. So for example, I reload and I hit knife. As you can see, the sound still plays. I think I'm recording my desktop sound. And same thing if I knife and then shoot. As you can see, it breaks it. So we need to create some way to tell well, both, almost as if we're performing an action. If we're performing an action, we don't want to be able to do things like shoot, reload, knife, that sort of thing. So what we're going to do is create a control variable on the character. So in our Nazi zombie character.h, I'm just going to go down. I guess I don't really have any other control variables or any variables in here really. Go down to the first protected section. I'm going to do bool b can perform action. Or actually b is performing action, probably be better. And by default, this is going to be false in the constructor. I want to create a simple public get function to return that. So actually make this blueprint callable. So you function blueprint callable. It's going to be bool is performing action, and I'm just going to make it return B is performing action. I can barely spell. Okay, so now I'm going to go and just start a compile. Head over to, let's do work on the knife first. So knife.cpp, and it's freezing. There we go. In the beginning of on knife, we're going to do a check. So here we get our player. So what I'm going to do is if player is performing an action, I'm just simply going to return. And I'm going to head over to weapon base.cpp, go down to where we have our fire right here. Here we get our player. We do the same thing. So if player is performing action, we're just simply going to return. I'm actually going to copy this line. Then we're going to open up the weapon full.cpp, head over to our fire function again. Is it on client fire? Oh, here it is, fire. So I want to check it there. I almost want to make I'll probably do this in the next few videos on the weapon base, make a function that dictates whether or not we can actually fire, and that'll handle kind of everything else. So that way we can just simply remove this, call the function, and be done with it. So I want to do it here. Here's our semi-auto, that's taken care of, so this is just our full auto. So we need to do it up here. So go ahead and drop that line down, copy where we do our cast from the owner. Oops. So if Nazi zombie player, we get our player, if it, yeah, we get our owner and we cast it to the Nazi zombie character type. Then we check if we are performing an action. If we are, we return. So great. Now we need a way to actually set this when we're doing things. So Nazi zombie character.h. We're going to do void, actually, yeah, you function blueprint callable, and do void set performing action, and take in a boolean is performing action. And all this is going to do is B is performing action equals is performing action. And compile. So now we pretty much just have to set this. So when we do our knife, well, let me go to openbase.cpp first. So if we're not performing an action, we return. Here's where we do all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna do bcan fire. I want to actually do, let me think. I need to close down the editor actually first. Press save. There we go. Trying to think real quick. So I'm gonna call, yeah. So under bcan fire, under weapon in the weapon base class, I'm gonna do player set performing action true. Except I don't want to do that actually in the fire. I'm being stupid. I meant in the reload. So here we have our reload function. What we're gonna do is, I almost forgot about this. If player is performing action, we're gonna return, as well as we're gonna do, otherwise, we're actually going to see where we start it. Here's the if, yada, 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 play all that kind of stuff. What is the fire rate handle for? Why is that in reload? Oh well. Yada, yada, yada. There, reload animation, do all that kind of fancy jazz. Then at the end here, I want to do it. So here I want to do player, set performing action, true, because we are performing an action. So when we reload, we are setting ourselves to be, say, okay, hey, we're doing something. So that control variable is getting changed to true, so we don't want to be able to do anything else while that's going on. So now inside of knife.cpp and on knife, we have our if, yada, yada, yada. We do our attack. We're going to do the same thing right here. So player, and I'm outside of the scope of that. I don't know why I don't have those in. I'll deal with it later. So we're going to do player, set, performing action, true, and compile. Then we need to figure out a way to reset this control variable from true back to false once the knife animation is done, as well as the reload animation is done. Alrighty, let's relaunch the game. Wait for it to unfreeze. Probably the most annoying thing ever. There we go. Now let's just make sure it actually stops it. So I shoot knife. Well, I can no longer knife or shoot or reload. I'm gonna go ahead and reload. I can't shoot, I can't knife, I can't do anything, so that is working. So now we just need a way to unscrew it. Yeah, because that kind of cancels out everything. So we're gonna go to our character, FPS, arms, and our animation blueprint. So in our knife end, we want to change our, I'll show you in a second. So we're gonna drag off our character, do a get. And this is in our knife attack end event. We're gonna do set is, we're gonna set performing action. We're gonna set that to false, like so. And now we need a way to do it after the reload. So that actually brings up a question. Let's go back to our code here and go to weaponbase.cpp. So in our reload, go through, play our animations for the reload. Then we have this, which is calls control fire delay. And that function is somewhere. Okay, so that sets bcan fire to true. So what I think I want to do is, I think I want to go ahead and do what I did before. So we're going to go ahead and get our character, well, our player. We're going to do a character set performing action false. I'm going to change character to player just for naming. I'm not sure why I named it character. Oh, because of multicast. And compile and just see what happens. So I'm going to test the knife out real quick. So I knife, I can't shoot till I'm done the knife. So it waits for you to finish the knife before you are able to do anything else like shoot or reload and that kind of thing. And that's what we want. Now we just need to confirm that uh, the reload kind of dealio is set up and good to go. And I really need to rename this to something else that makes sense because control fire delay just does not. I mean, it does, but not. Kind of seems like it more so relates to the time between shots. All right, so let's just see. Reload, spamming knife, and I'm not allowed to till it's finished. But there's another bug right there. All right, so it's when I spam shoot and knife. Out of curiosity. All right, so just spamming knife does nothing. Shooting knife really fast does nothing. So it's just kind of like that random occurrence if you're spamming both at the exact same time. So that'll be added to the to-do list to fix, but for the most part, it seems like it's just about good to go. So that'll be something to come back to here shortly. Anyhow, we now have two other little, not really bugs, but I don't know what you'd really call them. I guess fixes to mechanics that just happens when you don't want certain things to happen. I don't know. Anyhow, now that that is done, we can continue. So, not entirely sure what the other one or the next video will entail, but it might be another fix or we might just work on another feature. Anyways, I will see you then. And as always, if you want to support me, the link to my Patreon's in the description. And if you have any questions or just want to just really anything about game development, there is a link to my Discord server in the description. So feel free to join. I'll see you in the next one.